Welcome back to the second part of this series. Now that we discussed how to plan and scope the evaluation, we will talk about the evaluation management. Independence and technical capacity are paramount for any evaluation. Therefore, all evaluations shall be procured in a tendering process. So a tender is just open advertising, and then various individuals, companies, and organizations can apply for that through a proposal. The bidding process is vital as it allows the evaluation manager to compare the experience, technical skills of candidates, examples of past evaluations, preferences, as well as their proposed approach to the evaluation at hand. It is desirable to have a combination of sector experience and evaluation experience. When both features are not available, we suggest you prioritize the evaluation experience. International and national expertise is also a good combination, as well as gender balance. Also, strengthening the capacity of local evaluators should be key consideration of the evaluation manager, including through support to young emerging evaluators within evaluation teams. From the scoping phase, you should have identified the reference group. Once the evaluation team is selected, establish clarity and understanding, build working relationships, discuss progress, and monitor quality and timeliness. Ensure the evaluation team is clear on early flagging of issues or problems. The reference group is well placed to identify and help resolve problems. Now that we have the evaluation team on board, we need to establish the evaluation route or path at the inception phase. This is the way the evaluation team will approach the evaluation and comply with the terms of reference. An evaluation inception report describes how data will be collected and analyzed to answer the key evaluation questions. Choosing appropriate approaches and methods are prerequisites for credible, independent, and useful evaluation exercises. Yet it is not always straightforward to know which method and approach best fits the evaluation questions, data, and budget constraints. With this in mind, a UNAG working group on evaluation methods was formed in 2019, which serves as a forum for the exchange of good practices on this topic. You can find a link to the UNAG document on evaluation methods down below in the video description. During the inception phase, the evaluation manager shall provide documents necessary for background and facilitate communication between the evaluation team and the intervention staff. He or she shall track the progress of the inception phase. And also, the evaluation manager and the reference group shall do the quality control of the inception report. Be clear that no data collection can start until ethical clearance of the evaluation protocol. As the inception report is the map of the evaluation, it is important to have some basic elements on board. A clear context and background of the intervention to be evaluated. Realistic objectives. A sound methodology describes how information should be collected, from which sources, and how the collected data will be analyzed in order to answer the evaluation questions. Within the methodology, the evaluation matrix is an essential element that summarizes the data sources and that will be used to answer each key evaluation question. A timeline with specific deadlines and deliverables, ethical considerations, and relevant instruments on human rights and gender equality. Please see the link to the inception report checklist. Once the evaluation inception report is approved and ethical clearance has been granted, the evaluation can now move to the data collection phase. The evaluation team will apply the approved methods and techniques in an independent manner. During the data collection, the evaluation manager has 4 main tasks. First, guarantee the independence of the evaluation team. Facilitate logistics. In terms of logistics, depending on agreements, the manager may be involved in organizing meeting venues for meetings and workshops and consultations, transport and security of field data collectors, making introductions to key informants or key authorities about the evaluations and evaluators. Also, the manager shall facilitate access to data and documents requested by the evaluators. Track progress. The evaluation manager is the broker of communication. So it is important to set up a communication schedule to track progress and potential obstacles in data collection, and should request progress reports to take corrective action as needed. Control quality. Quality issues, for example, that affect the credibility or validity of evidence, ethical issues, issues of impartiality and independence of the data, should be raised with the reference group. Once the data collection is done, the evaluation team can conduct a workshop on preliminary findings, a short presentation to stakeholders to give early feedback, examine the evidence, check gaps, and build ownership. After the validation workshop, the evaluation team shall sit down and start drafting the evaluation results in a draft report. Things to consider. Often several drafts are needed. Ideally, as each draft is presented and considered, you see less comments and less issues for discussion. Always use a comments matrix to provide feedback, because it helps remove duplication, spot contradictory feedback, and present as clearly as possible to the evaluation team. Things to look out for. Conforms to standard quality assurance guidance. How well is the evidence presented and effective in answering the evaluation questions? Are there any weak areas? Anything unclear or inconclusive? Or is it lacking triangulation, sweeping statements? Does this give us a clear understanding of successes and failures for users to work on? Try to avoid stakeholders going back and reopening discussions resolved earlier. Thanks for watching the second part of this series. In the next and final part, we will discuss the strategic communication of evaluation results.